go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone.
That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives by this point of pale light.
We shall prevail.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Rocket Tranquility, we copy you on the ground.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Welcome to the Internet Space Program.
Hey everyone.
What's up, GM? How's it going, Pablo?
Going well. Yeah, exciting town hall today. So obviously we've relaunched the campaign with Frank, so he'll jump on here and say some words. And but we've also got a lot of other stuff going on too. We're going to be going through all of the project final reports. Everyone who received a grant from MoonDAO in the last quarter will present their results to the community, and then afterwards we'll vote and reward the projects based on their outcomes. Yeah, we've got some awesome videos that we've put together here for Frank's relaunch that we'll watch, and then we'll get Frank up here on stage, and yeah.
Cool, yeah. Andrew's already saying, play the video.
Hey, Andrew. Yeah.
What's up, GM Andrew, GM Lakshmi, Arobi, everybody in the audience. Good to see you. Yeah, we'll kick things off with the new kind of hype meme video for Frank's relaunch. Here we go.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Back again. Frank is back.
Oh yeah! Guess who's back? Bigger than ever. Wait, the mission didn't fail?
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Great video. Good work, Ryan.
Fun to put together, playing with the deep fake AI Frank and trying to get the music to fit. I was messing around trying to make some AI verses and lyrics there for a while with Eminem, but couldn't quite get it to fit. But yeah, we got the Frank is back at least.
Yeah. Frank is back again. I love it. Should we also play the competition one? I think that's a good informational one as well.
Yeah.
So how to compete for the other seat. There's a second video.
There is a second video. A second launch.
Contributors voted to fight for 2 spots on the rocket, one for Frank and a second open seat dedicated to a member of the community. This digital interface is the Fly with Frank leaderboard. Every contributor earns voting power and secures the right to compete for that open spot.
Send Frank to space! Send Frank to space!
And bring them back.
We're inviting people to go beyond making a contribution and join the mission. It won't just be a flight, but also support for bringing the overview effect down to Earth. So join us in sending Frank to space.
Awesome. And the man himself, hey Frank.
Man of the hour. Hey Frank.
Hello everybody. Hey, shout out to Ryan for the videos. Shout out to both of you guys for sticking with this project, which has gone on for a while, and the journey continues. So hi Andrew. Andrew's stuck with it too.
Yeah.
I would say quickly, I have to leave early, and I have a good reason. I have to do a virtual meeting with a doctor because I am attempting to do a zero gravity flight in August, thanks to Nicole Stott. But I have to get a doctor to sign off that I'm able to do it. So I'll have to pop out early. But I did want to be here and just say thanks, everybody. Iman. Yeah, Iman, we might need you.
Iman approves.
Yeah, I'm trying to go the traditional route with my PCP, but I did want to say thank you. I'm just really grateful to everybody who has been involved, and it really is important. It was Nadine Nicole who was saying it's not just a flight; it's a mission, and it's not just me. It's all of us, and we do want another person to go with me, at least physically go with me, but we want everybody to go on this this journey to bring the overview effect down to earth and to highlight the importance of overview thinking versus surface thinking. Once again, watch your TV or go to YouTube and you'll see what surface thinking produces. And I think it just makes the case for us that the overview effect is incredibly important. And it's critical that we get more overview thinking into our society. So you have to go off-world to have that experience directly, but it's really all about the Earth and how we can create a better world here. And so all of you who've been involved in any way, you're contributing to that. And in some ways it's about me, and in other ways it's not about me at all. It's about a movement to change the way our planet does things, move into the future. So thanks again, everybody, and we're going to keep going. And Ryan and Pablo will tell you more about where we go from here. But we've accomplished a lot. We just want to do more. So thanks again. I'm going to pop out and talk to the doctor. And if it goes quickly, I'll be back. So thanks again, and see you later. And Frank is back. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, Frank. Yeah, the zero gravity flight will be a good stress test for a stratospheric balloon flight. Seems pretty chill in comparison to doing multiple parabolas up and down at 2
as
Gs.
we know, Pablo.
Yeah, as we know, yeah.
We were there. We saw people who didn't have a great time of it, I guess. Yeah, it'd be really awesome if Frank can have this experience. I mean, obviously the training for space is about to commence. So this is, we're definitely real serious, obviously, about sending Frank to space. But you did hear it here first, so long as he gets the doctor approval. But Frank will be on this zero gravity flight in France coming up soon, which is also in the MoonDAO marketplace. If anybody in the audience happens to be interested in flying alongside, not just Frank, but Charlie Duke and Nicole Stott, and a French ESA astronaut as well.
Yeah, it's an amazing opportunity, and Ryan and I can speak from experience that it was one of the coolest days of my life. Being on a zero gravity flight with Charlie Duke and Nicole, and Doug was there too, Doug Hurley.
It's still both of our WhatsApp profile photos, if you can imagine it. Whatever, 2 years later. So that's how great it is. We haven't changed it to anything bigger or better yet.
And it was a great demonstration of a model where we had a competition for some of the zero gravity flights. We sold some of the other seats, and so now in some sort of way we're kind of scaling this up with Frank's mission and kind of raising the ante. We'll I think that we'll continue to repeat this model as a way of getting people to not only access these flights, but engaging people in sort of this kind of new ecosystem of spaceflight. We engaged 12 different carriers from around the world in the 30 days after the raise closed. And yeah, basically the sort of like resounding answer that we got is everyone wants Frank to fly. They're working towards developing their technologies, either stratospheric or suborbital, and in some cases we spoke to even to orbital companies. So we're kind of just at the beginning of a renaissance in human spaceflight. We saw some awesome activity in 2021, 2022 with Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic and SpaceX, obviously. And now there's kind of a resurgence of human spaceflight that we're just on the precipice of. So really exciting.
Yeah, big things are coming in the very near future. I mean, I think we have a better perspective on the entire like commercial spaceflight ecosystem and the current state of the union, or state of space, if you will, than probably most people, just given our the research that we've been doing. And yeah, I guess, well, everybody here too, if we have one big ask for anybody watching, if you can go to any of our social media posts and help like and share and make some noise around the Frank White fundraiser relaunch, that would be a huge help. So great to see everybody here, of course. But yeah, pop into your favorite social media platform, whether that's X or Instagram or LinkedIn, and just, yeah, show some love, as Miguel said. So we'd love to get some more noise going out there. We've gotten some great responses and amazing like original content being posted as well. So love to see all that. And maybe we should showcase the platform and the voting system again, just to kind of recap where things are before we switch gears.
Yeah. Yeah, I can pull this up. It's also an opportunity to showcase some of the awesome changes that have happened on the website. So yeah, we're constantly, improving the platform, and there's been a lot of awesome changes. So this is the new dashboard view. So you can see all of the activity that's happening, new citizens that are joining. You can see Nicole has joined recently. Rachel, Nadine Nicole, who's in that video. So a lot of new stuff here. Quests, obviously, but the most important stuff is that the fundraiser is reopened. And so our goal is to reach 250,000, which is enough to secure 2 seats on a stratospheric balloon. But as many of you guys already know, we're in talks with many carriers. And, as we blow by that milestone, we'll continue to raise the ante and aim for bigger and bigger missions. So, we've built.
Are you sharing the fundraiser? I'm seeing the dashboard on my end. I don't know if it's just on me, but
I've got the fundraiser here open. I'm seeing the fundraiser on my end, but
it's frozen on mine. But yeah, let us know in the comments if you see the dashboard.
But so a really cool thing about this as well is that now you can contribute with Apple Pay thanks to Coinbase. So behind the scenes, we've been working with Coinbase to get a new flow for contributions going. And I already have some ETH here, so you won't see the Apple Pay, but
I guess Pablo, everybody's seeing the dashboard. Maybe you want to unshare and reshare, perhaps.
Weird. Okay, let me try one more time here. Is this working?
There we go. Now we can see it.
Cool. All right. So yeah, this is the new view on the mission page, and yeah, all you got to do is type in your contribution amount, click contribute. It'll ask you to you can add a message, but you can also plug in your email, join the newsletter, accept terms and conditions, and then contribute. It's as easy as that. And then if you don't have ETH on either Arbitrum or on mainnet, it works on both. You can on-ramp directly with Apple Pay, which is a cool new feature. So yeah, pretty painless. Went right through. So yeah, some of you guys will remember like the early iterations of this, and it's come a long way. So check it out. We also have the leaderboard, of course. Many familiar faces here on the leaderboard. But yeah, just as a reminder, you have to be in the top 25 backed flyers. So multiple people can back you. So it's an opportunity to rally other people in your network to back your candidacy to fly with Frank. So yeah, currently that cutoff is around 34 overview. And yeah, we've got the vote results. We've already gone over these, but just yeah, as a reminder for people that maybe are tuning in now, we had a pause in the campaign where we reached out to a bunch of different carriers, and then the community weighed in on the path forward, and the community decided to continue fundraising for the second seat. So thus the relaunch. But yeah, poke around the new website. There's a lot of really cool stuff. Just as a reminder, we are accepting proposals for grants, and the deadline for that is tonight. So if you'd like to propose a project to the MoonDAO community, you can still do so. And you just have to go over here to projects, click propose project, and then fill out a template. It's pretty quick, can be done in 5-10 minutes. So if you already have an existing project, something that you're working on, and you want a little extra wind in your sails, you should submit to the community.
Yeah, we've already gotten a few really cool proposals coming in. Hopefully we'll get a few more, this afternoon, this evening. Looking forward to seeing kind of what the community comes up with. But yeah, these 3-month seed grants can be really powerful. As some of our past project leads can attest, it can be a real, it can be like the fire starter, if you will, to continuing on after the project ends and keep doing really, really awesome work. So excited to see what the community is bringing forward. But yeah, I just want to highlight the new onboarding, on-ramp flow is a lot easier, a lot better. Apple Pay has been working well for people. I guess the only hiccup I've seen is that some people you still generally need to use a debit card. It can vary from bank to bank, but if you have a debit card within your Apple Pay or Google Pay, it should work pretty much seamlessly now. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, really excited for this relaunch of the campaign, and we've built a strong foundation with phase 1 of the fundraiser, and we've got a bunch of people competing for the open seat. So if that's you, share with your community. We hope to see a bunch of people competing and rallying around the fundraiser for Frank, and yeah, we're really excited.
Sweet. Yeah, so rally the community, maybe make some more contributions if you can, and if you haven't voted yet, go vote. I mean, the voting system's still open, obviously, so you can change your vote, move your votes. I know a lot of people that have contributed but haven't voted yet, but that's all going to stay open as long as the fundraiser is open, essentially. So we'll continue to have people kind of jockeying for positions. There are some small changes, I guess, that we didn't necessarily discuss here, but the redemption rate essentially for the overview token for new contributors is less than the people who are participating in phase 1. So yeah, you can read all the details on the campaign page, but it just means that, the people who are there backing earliest kind of got a leg up, if you will, in the competition, but it's still open and fair. It's an open and fair game for everyone who wants to jump in and participate as a potential citizen astronaut candidate to fly alongside Frank.
Yeah. Yeah, this has been a big labor of love, and we've been working with Frank for a year and a half. So, all of that work is kind of culminated in this moment, and we're super excited because I think I think we'll blow past the milestone to get someone to fly alongside Frank, and then we have some really awesome opportunities on the horizon too. So yeah,
we've alluded to some of them in the announcement article and other conversations that we've had here on the live stream, but we've had some really amazing conversations with some of these carriers, and things are still in movement, but we're in a really, really great spot, I think, and there's a lot of reason to be optimistic about not just sending Frank, but the second seat for the community members. So yeah, feel really confident and optimistic that we can get there.
Awesome. Cool. Well, we've got a lot of updates from projects. So I think we should segue into that. I believe we have, is it 8 projects or how many?
No, we have like 10. We have a lot of active projects right now.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll kick things off with final reports here. And, we'll ask the project leads to stay under 10 minutes, up to 10 minutes, and then we'll transition to kind of the active ongoing project updates by the end of the town hall. So yeah, we can kick things off here now with our first final report. I guess we'll have Lakshmi step up now for the LunARC Bolivia lunar governance proposal. Hey, Lakshmi, how's it going?
Hi, guys. Good to see you all. Hi, MoonDAO community. Can I just share my screen?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead and load that up. And also, anyone who's coming up in the near future can load up the presentation beforehand too, so it's ready to go when you hop on stage.
I love the futuristic glasses. Are those just AI or are they real?
Wouldn't you want to know? So these are actually like $10 ones you can get at Best Buy. But they kind of protect your eyes if you're spending a lot of hours in front. And I'll tell you, they really work. I've been using it for like almost 2 years, and I've not had to use eye drops. So if any of you are out there, I'm not plugging a product. You can just get this from anywhere. But yeah, it's a lifesaver.
Awesome.
All right. You guys see my screen?
Do not see a screen share here.
How about now?
There we go.
I see it.
Yeah.
Oops.
Okay.
There we go. All right.
So I just walk you through the proposal, the final report. So our project's done. I just wanted to kind of walk through the summary. So as you know, this was over 3 days in Bolivia. I've just highlighted areas that I want to share. We had almost 19 students who attended the 3 full days. And we had a total of 25 students register or engaged in the lab. Some of them had some conflicts, they couldn't stay, but it was quite a good turnout. And they came from multiple universities in Santa Cruz. So that was a big plus, because when we started, we were focusing on Universidad Nur, and then it kind of expanded. The other great thing is we had a member from the Bolivian Space Agency join us, which was really great on multiple levels. I think for the students themselves to actually learn about, how their country is actually pioneering and engaged in the space race was important. But on the other side too, to have, the Bolivian Space Agency actually see students who are not in STEM, who are in the humanities, fields that you normally don't think about when you think about lunar exploration or space exploration, getting excited and wanting to have pathways for them to participate. So it was, both ways, I think, eye-opening for folks. So the students worked in teams, and they came up with governance models, and these are the names that they gave their own team. And what was really, I think, striking is we did peer reviews. Each team got to visit the other team's governance model. And it was so enriching because they were all distinct models. You would think like maybe there's going to be overlap, but for somehow the groups kind of self-selected themselves and came up with 4 distinct models. And the invitation we gave them was really use the moon as a blank canvas, draw from your own lived experience and your fields of study, and try to see if you were given an invitation to create rules for a new society, how would you think about it? So that was really the invitation, and the students really excelled. We came under budget, so that was great. And it was great for another reason as well, because we actually had the ETH price volatility affect us. So, I think as soon as we got approved or something like that, it kind of went like. So we kind of upfronted the expenses for the lab and kind of waited for the volatility to stabilize before we kind of submitted the expense. So that worked to our advantage. Yeah, kind of, I mentioned the transdisciplinary mix. So we had, even students from tourism. We actually had a medical school student join. So just really a wide net. And then we took the outputs that the students did, and then we worked with our partner, ICAD, which is a human rights nonprofit law firm. And then they translated the student outputs into the Bolivian space agreement, is probably what we're calling it. I'm going to try and see if I can do a quick screen share of that document. Bear with me for a second. Yep, do you see it? So this is the final output, and right now we've had the facilitator and others review it, and it has actually been sent to the students in Spanish. So I'm just showing the English version here for you all. And what we did is we actually took the 1979 Moon Agreement. That is, as someone put it, dead in the ashes. But we actually mapped the student models to every article in this Moon Agreement. And what was interesting is the students came up with their models, without knowing about this framework. And when the translators looked at it, every one of the articles that were scoped in 1979, the student had mapped with. And what was enhancing is not only did they address those, but they actually added more teeth to it, more accountability, more legitimacy to it. So anyway, this entire stuff will be made available, public, once the students have signed off for it. So that's really where we are. I want to say, I'd mentioned this to Ryan as well. For LunARC, this grant was very much wind beneath our sails. When we started this year, we were struggling to raise funds for this lab. We had lined it all up. And I think the timing of the community voting for this really not only kind of helped us implement the program, but actually generated more interest around our work. And now we have 4 labs scheduled for this year. We just completed Cairo. We have one in India. We might have one in San Francisco. So I want to just give a big shout out to the community for the trust and the support. And if there are any questions, you can ask in the chat, but I look forward to releasing the full report in a few weeks.
Awesome. Thank you, Lakshmi. Yeah, really cool. And that's a great testimonial about the project system. Love to hear that sort of thing. And, hopefully it inspires some other people to submit a really cool project and continue doing awesome work, which I know that you guys are doing and already have done some other awesome events and have some other ones that are planned here in the near future. So cool to see kind of this Bolivia project also have ripple effects. I heard great things also from Vera, one of our citizens, one of the community members that connected with you all in this project. So
yes, go Vera.
All right, yeah, go Vera. Awesome.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you so much, Lakshmi.
Bye.
Bye. Cool. We will bring up Julio Rezende from Habitat Marte. Hey, Julio, how's it going?
Okay, it's nice to talk with you, Ryan. I'm very excited about the campaign of Frank to come back to space. Yes, I prepared a quick presentation for this moment, showing the results of our project. Okay, I'll share my screen now. Okay. Okay.
There we go.
Wait a moment.
We got you.
No,
this is a different one, huh?
Sorry.
This isn't in.
Yes.
This one's in Portuguese.
Yes.
Sorry about Brazil in the World Cup, by the way. Just cheering for y'all.
Yes. Okay. Now it's. Let me know if my screen is shared. Is okay?
Yep, you can take it away.
Okay, this was the mission 233, and this mission happened when we had like the mission Artemis 2. Also, we focus in like in moon exploration in this during this mission. Yes, and some photos of the moon habitat. Yes, also happened before some virtual training about the mission. Here is possible to see the two scholars, Oscar and Julia, and also other participants, Jael from Peru, and Gabriel and Natalia from Brazil. Okay, Julia from Brazil was one of the scholars, and Oscar from Mexico. And we create like cards to share about this mission. Also, we did a lot of posts communicating about the mission, and this was fundamental the support of MoonDAO because with these two scholarships, each scholarship was $850 to participants to permit the participation of Julia and Oscar. And also we invited Maria Eduarda, also with a scholarship too. She's from high school in Brazil. And Natalia and Gabriel, they participated in mission control. Yes, some photos, results of the mission. Also, we did a patch commenting and also inviting the participants, attendees, or also contributions for Frank White campaign, and also it's possible to see the logo of MoonDAO. All the times we try to share the logo of MoonDAO and also communicating about the MoonDAO support. It's possible to see some images from this mission, some different experiments, also photo of Oscar participating in the mission, and some activities during the night. And we activated a sauna in the Cosmic Lake, and this mission was very unique. And now we receive the amount for 3 scholarships. The third scholar was Sandali. She just go to the flight to Natal, to Brazil, and we had some sessions of training before the mission. And the name of this next mission is Astraqua, and will be happening from July 26th to 30th. And here it's possible to see the participants in this mission. In person activities will be Sandali, Valeria from Peru, myself, and also Natalia and Gabriel participating virtually in mission control. This will be Astraqua, and will be the second mission supported with 1 scholarship destined to Sandali. Okay. And both missions, we are doing many updates in terms of our aquatic activities, underwater activities, like practicing, like we are having aquatic experience, environmental experience, physical experience, before underwater extravehicular activity, survival training, cosmic experience, very connected with overview effect, and also a protocol to simulate maternal womb in the water. Yes, this is my presentation, and I'd like to say thanks to MoonDAO for the support of our activities. In this case, these 2 missions that we had with the MoonDAO support, the previous mission during April 13th to 17th, and now the next mission from July 26th to 30th, was fundamental the support of MoonDAO. Without the scholarships to these 3 participants, would be impossible. This mission happens, and in this case, also we had many scientific activities during this time, and the MoonDAO support was fundamental. Yes, this is my communication, Ryan, about our activities.
Awesome, thank you, Julio. Yeah, we've got Oscar here in the audience, and we also have Sandali and Gabrielle, which is just great to see from people involved in the Habitat Marte mission and these scholarship opportunities. So great work to everybody, and especially to you, Julio, for helping to lead this scholarship effort and get more people experiencing these analog astronaut training opportunities.
Yes, thanks so much. Yes.
All right. Thanks, Julio. Cool. Awesome. Up next, we have Kara with the Laika bots. Kara, are you there? Hey, Kara. How's it going?
Good to see y'all. So good to wrap this up with you guys. It feels like a special 9 months actually of working together. I tallied it.
Yeah,
time flies
2 projects.
Going to the moon, navigating space.
Yeah, it's a long-term effort, but yeah, you had another project before this, and yeah, it's great to see all your activities. So
yeah, so this has been really meaningful time to work with you all, and we did complete the Laika bot. So today I'll give you a quick summary of what that is. I want to share with you all where you can engage with Laika now publicly. It was announced by Aula yesterday in the main Discord channel. So you'll go there. The steps to engage with Laika are going to be going into the MoonDAO's Discord channel, and you can check out the announcement in the general channel within Discord. So that's where Aula or WonderDev has posted how to get started with Laika. And the way that you can find Laika right now is by going into the right-hand side of your Discord. You'll see like all your contacts and search for Laika app. And then click on that and you'll be able to start chatting with Laika. So I'll share my screen here and I can show you what I've got going here, or just how it looks. So again, for those of you that are maybe not familiar or just remembering what Laika is, so Laika is basically our the matchmaking bot for MoonDAO that we've built. So its core functionality is to help you all make more meaningful connections with each other, and then find projects to collaborate with others, and also explore who else is attending the same conferences. So it's really like a community engagement experience, and you'll see we've got Laika's avatar here, and asks you some pretty basic questions about what you're interested in, including your language, and tailors the responses to that. Laika will also be checking in with you on a regular basis, so you don't have to remember Laika is there, and also surfacing you matches that that come up as more people come into using Laika. So as with anything, we'll be reminding you all that Laika is there, and new members can also continue to can onboard into Laika too. Maybe a good thought would be to potentially create a separate channel within the MoonDAO Discord. I'll chat with Ryan about that, but that could give it a little bit more visibility. Otherwise, it's a little bit hidden. And yeah, it's asking you kind of what are you excited to explore in MoonDAO. So it can be learning, making connections, collaborating on projects, funding opportunities, investing, and just generally having fun. And who do you want to meet? Do you want to meet space industry professionals? Do you want to join projects, find buddies, things like that. So that's where it's at. We did complete that. We delivered it just this week. It took us a little bit longer to get everything together. It was, quite a bit of testing. So we did test it with about 15 different people, continued to iterate it. It was a new project for us too. So our team is learning. We don't develop bots 24/7, but this was, pretty successful, I think, in terms of the actual foundational structure that's here. And then Aula is going to be available and is available ongoing for support and maintenance as these projects have, right? So he is the one that announced the bot in the Discord group, so that way you can get to know him. You can always find him and chat with him. We also set up weekly analytics, so that comes to Ryan and to Aula every week to see how the bot's performing. And then there's always feature requests, right? So this is for the community, by the community, for you all to share with what kind of things you might want to see. You know, we'll put that on a feature request list, and he's got space now to continue to build it. Yeah, and then some infrastructure things behind the scenes, you know, that we completed with documentation and announcement copy and avatar there. So I think that's pretty much it for me. Just want to say thank you all again for giving us this opportunity and all the explorations with MoonDAO, and this is going to continue. We'll just hopefully continue to see Laika grow.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Kara. I just tagged or responded to Ayula's intro thread there, tagging our citizens. And yeah, would love for our citizens and people here watching to go test out the Laika bot and see what you think and give feedback to Kara and to Ayula as they continue to develop this. So
nice. Cool. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Sweet. All right, next up we got Daniel. Daniel with the Citizen Space Policy Initiative. Hey, Daniel, how's it going?
Hey, Ryan, how you going?
Good, good to see you again.
And hi, Pablo, as well, and hi, everybody. Sorry. So I will start go back to the beginning and talk about what we had planned to do versus like what we have actually wound up doing. Because as some of you know, some of you won't, for some people I'll sound a little bit like a broken record. We wound up going in a pretty different direction. So this project has arrived, luckily, at along the trajectory that we wanted it to go, but taken a bit of a different course to get there. So back at the beginning, we applied for funding predominantly, in fact, exclusively to fund a piece of government-grade software that would help us conduct a survey internationally with some partners that we had at that point begun conversations with, both in the sort of nonprofit civil society sector as well as like government and things like that. And we wanted to get that piece of software because of the kind of credibility and like, you know, data privacy integrity and all of those sorts of things that it gave us in order to get the partners, in order to carry out the survey at the scale that we wanted to carry it out. That proved really, really difficult for a number of reasons. First of all, because of the size of the amount of money that we had actually requested, we needed to make sure that we had like a legal entity here in Germany to take that money and to spend it properly. That created bureaucratic obstacles, which wound up dragging on for months and months and months, like well into this year. In fact, sort of to April of this year. Which pushed everything back. So my thanks is not only to MoonDAO to having the trust and being able to take a bit of what was obviously a bit of a risk in granting us that project funding at the beginning, but also providing, and I say thank you directly to both Ryan and Pablo here, as well as the wider community, but specifically to Ryan and Pablo, who sent some encouraging messages and suggested various alternate pathways and things like this, and kind of, you know, cemented some of the thinking that we've been doing to change course a little bit, you know, because that obviously has been part of the reason why we've been able to do anything at all. So because of all those obstacles, we opted not to go in that direction, not to buy the big expensive piece of software. As it turns out, as these things often turn out, it actually wound up, I would say, for the better. So even though the project has shifted and been postponed quite significantly, like this was something we applied for at the end of last year. We got at the end of last year. The project was supposed to go through to the end of this year. And by the end of this year, the objectives were to have the piece of software and have it set up and have the platform online and have partners in place and have the potential reach in place. And then by middle of this year, roughly where we are at the moment, the survey's live, we're getting responses. Come September, October, we're aggregating those responses. Come sort of October, November, we are producing these the citizens policy document, citizen vision statement, that we had wanted to produce with that sort of volume of responses, and sending it on to those partners that we had acquired, and basically producing this resource, but basically starting a yearly loop where we produce this resource for civil society, for community organizations, for organizations all over the world, and academics, that basically says this is what people are thinking generally, and then we iterate and improve on it year on year. So as I said, the whole thing got pushed back. We wound up building a lot of things internally ourselves, and what we came up with, I think, was a lot better than what we otherwise would have gotten for that price. So long story short, we didn't spend any of the money. We didn't. It was never transferred, and we didn't spend it. So that's a big plus. And I'll just quickly go through the sort of the OKRs as we sort of stated them and how they turned out. So there was 13 in total. 5 were completed, I can say confidently. Another few were partially complete, and a few were incomplete. So survey and methodology submitted to a peer organization for review and then approved by a citizen participation expert. We did that. I was actually accepted into People Powered's Rising Stars mentorship program last year that helped us sort of think about and iterate and improve the methodology behind this process. Around our second objective, expanding the reach of the initiative, we wanted to secure 5 partner organizations capable of assisting with reach, and then a total of 5,000 people that the survey would reach, at least in the first round. We exceeded that, actually. So we collected quite a few partners, both formally and informally. One of the formal partners that we've actually collected, so a signed agreement, includes the Planetary Society. So we're really excited about that going forward, like where this project can actually go over the coming months and years, because they are very interested in it, and they're going to be helping to share that out as well, and go through comms strategy and things. So that's really, really cool. Establishing a publicly accessible platform, that was completed. Both OKRs for that were completed. But not in the way that we had planned, as I said. So the one about getting the subscription to this big platform, that wasn't done, but having a final public platform online certainly is. And then our objective around launching the Space Policy Initiative, that obviously was not complete due to the delays that I mentioned. And then we've got growing the MoonDAO Space Acceleration Network. Those 2 OKRs, so around bringing in additional teams, bringing in additional citizens, because we haven't launched the project formally, that hasn't been delivered on, unfortunately. But we intend to retain those objectives going forward, even though we won't officially be a MoonDAO project any longer. Same goes for promoting MoonDAO as a core partner when the project goes live, or whether when it goes out en masse through our partners. We intend to maintain that as an objective, including social media mentions and things like that, and delivering results. So this is a bit of a mixed bag. This is where it gets partially complete, because of the way we went with the platform. And I'll give a brief. I'll show it very briefly in a second. We do have a platform online. We have actually delivered iterations of both documents, because the way in which we've approached that has fundamentally changed. Rather than waiting until the end of a sort of 6-month period of collecting surveys, collecting inputs before producing these documents, they're produced on an iterative basis. So almost weekly, we hit the generate button and it produces the latest version of the document, which then actually becomes part of the participatory process, so people can vote on the latest version, whether they approve or disapprove of it. That was one of the things that came out of our interactions with People Powered, this sort of discussion of what would be best practice, rather than waiting to the end to find out whether people agree with this aggregated document. Figure it out on the way and iterate as you go. So that's how it went as far as our official listed OKRs go. As I said, a bit of a mixed bag, but I think a lot of the key ones we hit. And I'm just going to share my screen very briefly to show you the end result of where the platform is at. This is where it is now. We just launched a new website. We launched the latest version of the platform itself, or the participatory platform itself. about a month ago. It's collected a few results. We've been workshopping it, including with partners, so it's constantly being updated bit by bit, but the meat and potatoes of it is basically the same. So that's the platform. You build a little planet ship or station as you go through, and that's your identifier, which you can use to access results later. This is our new website. You can look at quotes from people. You can see the results presented in a variety of different ways. You can read the latest documents that we've produced, including the Citizens Vision Statement and the Citizens Policy Document. Again, there's a sort of version history with that, which is really, really cool. Then you can, here's the process as part of the platform, where you can, once you've submitted your response, you can see whether or not, you can decide whether or not you approve or disapprove of the latest versions. So you can see that's where we're at the moment. It's I think it's looking really good. We're really, really proud of like how it actually turned out. We're not so proud of the way in which we got here and the admitted mess that we've had over the last 9 months. It's been all over the place, but we're really proud of the partners we've got. We're really proud of the platform we've developed, and what it means for us going forward. We've also now officially got an organization here in Germany, so we can build something properly, and MoonDAO has been like a big part of that, not just for giving us the confidence. So even though we didn't technically get the funding, getting sort of approved as a project was a big confidence boost. It was a big motivator, and certainly some of the like internal feedback from the community and dialogue with the community has been also really, really motivational. So thank you very much to you guys, to everybody, and yeah, fingers crossed we can build something really cool like we had originally envisaged off the back of this. Thanks very much.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Daniel. No, I think it really was a long journey or whatever to get there, but yeah, I think it really turned out quite well there. So thank you so much for your work and for sharing the updates on the project. Cool. Next up, we have Michael Castle-Miller with the LDC proposal. Hey, Michael, how's it going?
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, congrats on the Martine Rothblatt Prize too.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that was great to see, and yeah, we love to see projects continuing on like this, and yeah.
Well, it was all kickstarted with the MoonDAO grant from all of you citizens, so thank you very much for that. And yeah, so let me give you the kind of final report. I'll pull up my screen here so you can see that. Okay.
Cool. Take it away.
All right. Should be pulling up a slideshow here soon. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, this is as expected. We sort of started with, thanks to the MoonDAO grant, we started with kind of a first version, and that we actually got to do a run of. But maybe to kind of set the stage, one of the things that motivated this was really how critical it is that we begin to think about the institutions that will help shape and support a real economy and society in space. And one of the kind of lessons from history that I draw from are the differences in the development of North America, including the United States, which really laid out in advance institutions that provided the opportunity for small farmers to acquire plots of land, have secure title to them, and begin developing them productively, which created a plan for upward mobility. Of course, there was a lot of harms that were caused during this time, especially to indigenous communities. But if you contrast that with like the encomienda system in Latin America at the time, where huge grants of huge plots of land were granted to major wealthy landowners, with everyone else with very few opportunities except to work their land. You had two different paths set, where one really led to kind of broad-based prosperity and another to a more unequal society. And I think we're really at kind of the threshold of those types of decisions being made for space, and it will shape the way people live, their opportunities, their freedom for centuries to come. And right now, a lot of these decisions are being made in the dark, which is sort of the motivation for this simulation. And in the first phase, we're prioritizing tabletop exercises that can be run with companies, with government agencies, with think tanks, universities, to help shape people's thinking about how to do this right. And like I said, our first version we ran at in a workshop at Luxembourg Space Resources Week that we co-hosted with the European Space Policy Institute. This is some of the pictures for what it looked like. We had all of the materials had MoonDAO's logo stamped very prominently on there, so people could see who supported it. And like Ryan was saying, we also I put this into a business plan and submitted it to the National Space Society's Space Settlement in Our Lifetime business plan competition. And there's about 113 submissions. The judges included lots of space entrepreneurs and investor veterans in the room, and we took first place in it. This is what the sort of simulation looks like physically right now. It's got this high resolution scaled map. This is actually one of the probably the most high interest areas of the South Pole. You've got Shackleton Crater at the bottom center, sort of there, stretching northward and east and west. It includes several of the Artemis candidate landing sites, as well as the Chinese ILRS candidate sites, lots of permanently shadowed regions and permanently lit areas there. And the simulation basically tests 3 different models for how infrastructure and data gathering could be funded and shared. And so people have a choice between going it alone and self-funding everything and not sharing anything with anybody, versus joining this lunar commons where they have to share everything they gather with everybody, and versus like an investment consortium that's sort of structured a little bit like the Lunar Development Cooperative idea that I've been working on, where they receive investment and then they share data and infrastructure with other members of the group. And we got to run it with 4 tables, all running it simultaneously, so we could compare results across tables. It generated lots of interesting insights, where people who chose to go the route of the commons and share everything had the biggest positive impact on the overall lunar economy, but they often performed worse as individuals. So depending on what their motivation was, that was a good choice. Anyway, it's a very useful tool. We're already developing a second version that's more filled out, and we see this really as something that could be a real service, both for companies to stress test their strategy and see how it plays out when it's confronted with a broader economic and political factors. It's also really useful for policymakers, for consulting firms that want to deliver it to their clients, to VCs and other investment funds that are trying to see how they can kind of catalyze growth across an entire portfolio or across the entire market. So yeah, that's we're also planning to develop an online version, a digital version, which will make it much easier for the MoonDAO community to engage in. So I plan to, hopefully before the end of the night, get my proposal in for another Q3 for developing the digital version. But thank you for all of the support that the MoonDAO community has given and the input. And yeah, happy to answer any questions, or if you're interested in talking with me about doing a run at one of your organizations, yeah, reach out to me.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, excited to see a virtual version that people can interact with from all over the world. That'd be really, really cool to see. And yeah, hopefully we can get some more in-person IRL workshops going too.
Yeah.
So yeah, reach out to Michael on Discord or yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you can reach me. My email is michael@ldc.com. So
michael@ldc.com. Cool. Yeah. And share that in the chat too. Thank you so much, Michael.
All right, guys.
All right. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Up next, we've got Rod. Rod, are you available here? There we go.
Can you hear me?
Can hear you. Can't see you. You look
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I'm sorry. My computer can run NVIDIA Omniverse, but it has a really shitty camera.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can hear you fine. And yeah, just
Perfect.
yeah, another extra context for a couple people. Rod's proposal was part of the last cohort, but added as kind of a no MVP project here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what you've been building, Rod. Take it away.
Can you see my screen?
Yep, we got you.
Perfect. So it was a long journey. Hi to everyone who already knows what we are doing. And finally, after a couple of years, it started to work. So we are working on a simulator, on a robotic simulator for lunar and space missions. Initially, it was built on a game engine Godot, but Godot and all the game engines are pretty limited. So around 3 months ago, we switched to another tool, and we have a huge progress. Now we have a solid core of the system that allows to simulate lunar missions. Now you can see Shackleton the Glacier Ridge. It's real terrain data augmented with synthetic generated data. There are some nuances with the rendering, but we will handle it. So the idea is to have a proper robotic simulation tool. The existing ones like Omniverse are great, but for example, to run Omniverse, you have to have a computer with NVIDIA card, which a lot of people do not have. So we've built a simulator. It weighs around just 50 megabytes, and it's compatible with plenty of existing robotic standards. Like it's fully built on top of a standard called USD. It's a standard to compose scenes, and we are using for engineering simulations, for symbolic simulations, for those who understand a language called Modelica. So what you see here, everything is fully interactive. It's dynamic. You can code it without recompiling the core. So far, we have a pretty basic demonstration. Like we have rovers. You can drive those rovers. It's a super basic rover, not so interested one. The one that I really like, it's a so-called rocker boogie. Rocker boogie, like it has 6 wheels. It has a very special system to control them to make the rover move smooth across all the edges, and you can see how it moves like pretty smoothly across the craters. We started to build some assets, like here is a beautiful 5 kilowatt power lander. You can move everything, like move, rotate, all of that. That's the future building. And all of the actions, like moving something, it's recorded in a proper journal. It works in online mode, so many people can work together. Unfortunately, yesterday I've broken our synchronization system and run out of Claude tokens. So now I cannot show you how it works with the 2 or more people. We also have run the simulation in a browser and tested it with the 3 people scattered across the globe. It works. So what you see right now, it's a Windows application, but it also works in browser. I have to say that browser version so far is not optimized, and in general, a browser it's not so good for complex simulations. We introduced tutorials and scenarios. So far, they are pretty simple, like for so here, for example, you can see a lander that lands, and you've seen that it moves from side to side. That's because of its poorly tuned navigation system. But then, yeah, let me show you one more time. It rotates. Then there is like a rover that moves across their several waypoints, and it's using like the rover behavior is scripted using like tools that allows you to actually plan that. We also have like plan missions and use some AI in game sense for those who know behavior trees and so on. It's cross-platform, and the best thing is that all the behavior, all the model, not just how it looks. And by the way, this model of the lander, it's made in Blender on purpose. These models are purely like rovers are purely modeled using basic USD format, basic shapes like like circles and so on. But yeah, you can import models from Blender, from FreeCAD. It works in browser. For simple scenes, it works pretty fast. The best thing is that everything is scripted. So the last scene, this scene, it's just basically a text. In the text, you have a definition of lots of things, including actually that one of the best things. It's a bit hard to explain what it means, but basically all the parameters, all the important things, how they behave, they're just like inputs, just connections in the graph using so-called functional mockup unit approach that allows you dynamically to build a pretty complex system. We have, as I've mentioned, one of the features that we support modeling of the behavior, like that lander, when it was landing, its behavior, both physical and navigation system uses so-called PID controller to adjust its landing, and it's poorly tuned to PID controller. That's why it was tilted. But yeah, the physics and everything, it's not hard-coded in the simulator. It's built in Modelica, which means that pretty everyone can just download our executables and create physical models, create like a complex navigation behavior and so on. We also moved that core Modelica subsystem into a separate product. It's called Lunica. So now you can see an example of an electrical scheme for like those who understand electrical schemes. Unfortunately, I'm not the electrical engineer. Maybe you can tell us what it means. But here we run the simulation for, 500 seconds. Sorry, 50,000 seconds. And you can see how, like, what it is like. Voltage oscillates in that system. So that's like pretty hardcore engineering stuff, and that's hardcore engineering stuff. It's integrated into that simulator, meaning that you can model subsystems of lunar, of space systems using proper multiphysics approach, and you can have it interactive, integrated with the interactive physical model that responds on your actions, that can be integrated with your flight software and so on. By the way, now we have imported, I think it's 16 by 16 kilometers area of Shackleton de Glashar Ridge. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's an ongoing project, so there are a lot of things to do, and the core is pretty solid, it's fast, it's extendable, it has great infrastructure, and it's available for coding agents, I have to say. So if you want to change some physics, you do not have to do it manually, you do not have to recompile the core, you can just tell AI agent to modify things. In the last 3 months, we have around 450 new followers on LinkedIn, and I much enjoy look who is following us. Like we have a guy from University of Colorado Boulder. We have like people from, well, tons of hardcore engineers. We have like an intern from Lunar Outpost. We have our space engineers from NASA Goddard Space Flight Center, and many more people started to follow us. Yeah, we have like 462 people, and it's so pure organic. So we just make content about engineering simulations, and people start to follow us, which is amazing. One of the greatest thing is that from July 25th to August 2nd, we'll run our simulation on a space event for 300 people. So it'll be basic simulations like a rover mission planning, comparison of different suspension systems. That's why we implemented Rocker Boogie stuff like loss of signal, choosing the right path, and so on. So it'll be the first battle-tested thing. So let me explain one more time. Our simulation would be used by 300 people to, like in IRL event, to plan rover missions, and that makes me super happy.
Hey, Rod, we're coming up on the time here.
Yeah,
so,
the last thing to add is that now we have binary builds. You can download them on GitHub and run on pretty every system. So I suggest to download those builds. As you can see, they're pretty lightweight. And I think that's it. That's what I wanted to share. Sorry
awesome.
If it took a bit more time.
No worries. Appreciate the update. Looks like, yeah, really awesome tool, and look forward to seeing more people using that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it helps a lot of people in universities or wherever around the world. Super cool. I can see a lot of other different mashups too, with like the LDC tabletop simulation in a virtual environment, things like that. But super cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I've
Rod.
seen a new project about guidelines for radiation environment, and that's maybe like a perfect application. So we'll definitely will reach that project. And yeah, please vote for us and reach us if you have a space project to simulate. Thanks all.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thanks, Rod. Cool. Well, we have one more that is a video update here from Trent with the Maldives space balloon project. So I will cue that up before we switch gears. This will be our last final report, and then we'll switch into the active project updates here.
Hello, DAO members. Moonshot here, just giving you final update on the Maldives space balloon project. Sorry, I really tried to stay up for you all to be live in person. It's about 1:45 in the morning where I'm at, and I am just absolutely falling asleep. So I'm hoping I can go over our objectives, our learnings and results with you guys. And of course, if you have any questions, please do drop them in the Discord, in the thread. The entire report is in there as well. I gave a really detailed process overview of the project last month, and I linked that video in the Discord thread as well. So if you'd like, you can watch that, and there's some good videos, some good photos in there as well. For this project, we had 4 main objectives. The first one, of course, was to teach Maldives Research Organization how to manufacture high-altitude balloons. Second one, how to launch. After that, you can imagine the third, as far as this operational process goes, is how to recover them. And then lastly, instill confidence in them to think outside of the box on how to use this high-altitude balloon platform for all their future space research missions. Different types of telemetry that they could gather, data, send that back from the atmosphere to Earth observation, and everything that they would want to do. So when it comes to the first objective, teaching them how to manufacture these balloons, as I've said before, the biggest challenge was to actually get the materials to the Maldives. Their logistics isn't the same as like in the States, where we can get things like on Amazon, same day, 2-day prime. There's lots of planning that goes into the logistics out there, which was a huge learning. Their team was absolutely fantastic to work with. They showed up ready to learn and really keen to absorb all of the knowledge presented. Sadly, the weather did shut us out. When we initially submitted for this project, that was a possibility that could stop the project from having a successful flight during the time frame of being out there. Weather, I already talked about that, shut us down. Power outages, we actually had a rolling power outage while we were on the island, and so that obviously also made it hard to work. There was the holiday Eid. For those of you who are not aware, Maldives is a Muslim country, and so the Eid holiday limited like our shopping abilities. As far as the results go, we were able to build a 12-meter balloon. We were also able to really provide them the blueprint to manufacture these balloons. Step 2 goes to launch. Of course, as far as launching goes and recovery, we know that we weren't able to launch and recover, so really all we could do was talk about it in a classroom setting, and so that's exactly what we did. I, of course, am still on call for them if they have questions on launching and recovering their systems. As a part of these objectives, though, we did actually get out onto a boat and do some radio operations, right? So looking at different frequencies, we're able to look at aviation bands and even FM frequencies, AM frequencies, and help the team get used to searching for frequencies like the ADSB frequency or other telemetry that they'll be able to get from their ground station. That not only can they have their ground station that we brought them based on land in their office space, but it can also be maneuverable and brought out onto the ships and the vessels that they'll use for recovery. When it comes to instilling confidence, I think that we, again, were able to do everything we could in the span of a week. If they do have questions, they'll definitely be able to reach out to me. And all the classroom work that we were able to do went very well. I think we harped a lot on radio operations as it's so pivotal to being able to recover these balloons because that's how you're going to find them, right? Is these radio frequency, these pings. So again, getting data from the balloons and then also being able to recover the balloons and the physical technology to be reused, like the APRS, ADSB, or GPS systems, what have you, radios, any kind of sensors, all of that stuff can be recovered and reused. It was a great project. I wish we had the weather to be able to launch, but can't control everything. So everything was actually left there for them to be able to use into the future. And so it's going to be really exciting to see kind of what they're able to do with this new technology and this new capability. Once we get some even more photos from their operations, we're happy to share those with the DAO. So thank you all so much for helping enable space exploration in emerging space nations. Everything I have for you. So until next time, cheers.
Sweet. Well, thank you, Trent, for submitting that final report. Super cool work there in the Maldives, and hopefully that can be replicated in other places around the world, emerging space nations. So yeah, that's our, what was that, 7 final reports for this quarter, which is pretty awesome. Next steps for that will be, we'll get these up for a vote, and again, the community will vote on the impact, the perceived impact, and how much you like the work that these projects were doing, and we will distribute retroactive rewards. We have a retroactive rewards pool in the form of USDC, as well as V-Mooney voting power. So we'll be distributing those to the projects and the project leads per the results of that vote. I expect we will actually get the vote up next week at the same time as the Q3 project cohort. So we won't be submitting it, or the vote won't go up immediately, but expect to see it here in the next week after we get our Q3 project cohort back. So there'll just be kind of one vote for both things at the same time, which is what we did last quarter as well. So cool. We do have some donations coming in for the Send Frank to Space campaign, which is awesome to see. Loving seeing the activity. So thank you so much, everyone, for chiming in there. A lot of cool posts and stuff happening on social media. So love to see that. But yeah, right now we will switch gears here into our kind of brief monthly project updates. I guess we have Maria Alejandra up first. Hey, how's it going, Maria?
Hello, everyone. Fine, thank you. So
feel free to take it away and tell us what's new with the ACMA Ignites project.
Yeah, I will share my screen here so you can see. We just officially launched the open call for ACMA Ignites. Maybe you saw the Instagram post. It's in Spanish, of course, because we want the teams to compete here in Colombia. Yeah. We launched the open call for ACMA Ignites, our program to sponsor and mentor high school and university teams competing in the Concurso Colombiano de Cohetería Deportiva. Applications will be open until July the 20th. So teams can apply to our website here. Everything is explained. We have the webpage of the competition. These are the pictures and the teams from last year. You can see like everything about the competitions, the prizes, the teams and categories, and at the end we have the form just for teams. We have sent the call for teams to a database of high schools and universities across Colombia. We are expecting to grow the response and the schools from this week on, because schools were in holidays, so their break, and we were not expecting like applications during that vacation period. So we have here the form. The teams choose their schools or universities and complete all their information. It's open until July the 20th. So we are also waiting for the mentors, and we have a separate call for mentors here if you want to help us supporting the teams that are competing, both the university and high school teams. You can also come here to the webpage and register your application here to be a mentor for the team. We were also finishing our call for an analog space mission that is called Perpetuando Sueños with Concora. We are now on the selection process for the analog habitat space missions, and that just conclude. So we are shifting our full focus to this call for the rocketry content. Next steps, we will close the applications, we will finish the registration payment for the teams, and we will begin the mentor matching process and the selection process for the teams that we are going to support. And we will be continuing supporting the teams until the date that is 6, 7, and 8 of November in Santa Fe de Antioquia, Colombia. So we will be working close to the things until their rocket launches in November. That's so for now. We really want to invite you to be a mentor and support our rocketry teams here in Colombia. Thank you so much. See you. I'm not listening. I don't know if you were asking me something. I can hear you. I don't know what happened, but that's all. I hope you heard my presentation. Okay, thank you.
I don't know if it's me, Ryan, but I can't hear you anymore. Yeah, and there's no audio.
Oh, was I?
Oh,
I was
there it
muted
is.
and I was talking that whole time. Okay, now you
Yeah.
can hear me, right?
So we didn't hear you right after.
Well, sorry about that. I was just saying for people, if they want to help mentor Maria Alejandra and the rocketry project, definitely reach out to her. Talking while muted, that was silly, but okay, cool. You can take it away, Paloma.
No problem. Yeah, that was an awesome update. We should definitely support. So very quick, guys. Thanks so much again, all the community of MoonDAO for supporting us to start this amazing group of Moon founders. I'm gonna share my screen, but we are just starting to get the movement together here in real life in Florianopolis, but also the community online of MoonDAO to participate. We created a Luma called Luma Moon Founders, which is where we're going to be hosting all the events that we're doing in real life and hybrid online for this initiative. And the idea, just as a recap, is to bring together founders and builders that are already creating valuable businesses on Earth to also explore what the moon economy would look like and if they can participate of that economy to build their businesses there. So we ran our first meetup of a series of events right now, just last week on July 2nd. We had 28 register, which we were going for 30. So we're pretty reasonable for the first one. And we already have mapped the upcoming meetup dates. So next one, we're gonna do once a month. Next one is gonna be in August. Then we have one in September, October. In November, it's gonna be the hackathon of NASA Space Apps. And we're gonna do the moon track during the Space Apps Challenge. So we have the dates now. We are starting to organize the upcoming events, but I just wanted to show you guys a little video recap of what it looked like last week. Yes, We had Lucas Fonseca, which is a Brazilian that started Garotea Mission, which is the Brazilian moon initiative. We had Jonathan, one of our space founders in our network of founder house. And people came together. It's a little bit winter in Brazil, so we fire up the fireplace. We had a good conversation, founder to founder, on what are the real opportunities to explore the moon. So if you guys want to check it out, you can check out more about it later. We did started having some expanding. So thank you so much, Ryan and the team, to figure out how to get our first payment from the DAO. That was a very fun thing to do and to actually go through all the process. And one cool result I want to share with you guys is we got our first MoonDAO citizen out of the project, which is Lucas himself. So just introducing one more MoonDAO citizen that came through from Brazil this week, but he is a Brazil space engineer. He has been doing business with the ISS for a while now, and as I mentioned, he's the director of the Brazil first lunar mission called Garotea, so you guys can check out him later and hopefully connect and get to know a little bit more about his work. One of Lucas' initiatives that we're also bringing MoonDAO to collaborate is a space industry workshop that's happening in Rio de Janeiro in August. It's going to be right before our next meetup. And we're being able to feature not just a bunch of amazing founders. They're coming from all across the globe, building space technologies and academy, governments from all across the globe. But we're also going to have a few cool panels. And as part of the Moon panel, we were able to confirm Pablo from MoonDAO and a few other MoonDAO representatives will potentially come to Rio in August and be there with us. So we have 15 panels happening. Whoever from MoonDAO wants to come to the event, we would love to host you. This is organized by the Brazilian Space Agency. And we're bringing dozens of founders. So MoonDAO is going to be speaking in this deep space and lunar economy panel. And this event is inside Rio Innovation Week, which is one of the largest innovation initiatives in Brazil. So it's going to be like, I don't know, 10, 20,000 people. Pablo is right beside Paulo here. So I think you just scroll it down. But if you guys want to check it out, I'm going to drop the link in the notes. So MoonDAO is now becoming positioned as like a partner of this very cool event for the space industry in Brazil. And then during that month, we're hosting Magic Island, which is a pop-up city of the island of Florianopolis that we're going to be hosting here. And then MoonDAO is also being added as a partner to this initiative. And the calendar now of our next meetup is going to be in partnership with this pop-up city. A lot of people are coming from all across the globe. And that's going to be our next MoonDAO event. So the next meetup is going to be on the 10th, right after Rio. We're going to Rio conference. And then we're going to spend the week bringing a bunch of cool people to Brazil. So you guys are all welcome to join. And hopefully we get some cool residents and other people to join us here in August. So either you want to go to Rio with us for the Brazilian Space Agency workshop with founders from all across the globe, or you can come to Floripa the week after, or both. If you want tickets for the Rio event, let me know as soon as possible. They are paid tickets, but we can get you guys a few spots. Or if you want to come to Magic Island in Florianopolis in August, our event, pretty much that whole week of the 10th, we're going to be here hosting people from all across. And then one cool update is today we confirmed Skylar, the founder of Guru. He's the Y Combinator being accelerator founder that's building the first hotel in the moon. So he's going to be there with us in Rio and here potentially in Florianopolis the week after. So the Guru space is actually building the first hotel in the moon. They're invested by Y Combinator. And he accepted to be in the Moon panel together with Pablo. So it's going to be a very strong, cool crowd, small, but very highly curated crowd of founders building and hopefully getting us closer to our settlement in the moon.
Muted again. Awesome. Thank you, Paloma. This is yeah, great update. Lots of stuff going on. The event last week was really fun. The kind of hybrid virtual IRL event that we did with me and with William, one of our other citizens, amazing citizen in Brazil, and also with Lucas, who you highlighted as one of our newest citizens. So yeah, really cool stuff, and great to see, you know, the Brazil community still thriving and continuing to grow, and lots more stuff happening there. So really appreciate all you're doing. Cool. All right. Thank you, Paloma. We will move on to our next presenter, who is, we've got Austin up next. Austin, are you here? Get your camera on. Austin or Anna, if you want to put your cameras on first. Oh, well, that was like simultaneous, but okay, Austin.
What's up, guys?
How's it going? All right, yeah. Updates, Austin, on the space content documentary project.
Yeah, absolutely. Headed out in the morning, back to Huntsville. We got the astronaut reunion, so it should be a super cool one. I think they've got 2 full days of like events and dinners and speaking stuff. So I'll hopefully get my hands on some stuff this time. I kind of got to observe last time, but I'm super excited to film everyone that's going to be there. I think Dr. Iman will be there, so we'll link up, and Andrew, I believe. I think there's a couple other people, so hopefully get them back on camera again, and wait on my MoonDAO shirt tomorrow. Hopefully I can rock some gear and represent with my attire as well. So a couple other projects. I should be potentially also back in Huntsville for a 3rd time for Higher Orbits, if that works out. That will be here in the next 2 weeks as well. That will be more for space kid education for space, and I think they're also bringing an astronaut in as well. So should be pretty exciting. I've got some other projects too after that, but we'll hold to these 2. These are kind of what's going on this month. So
Sweet. Yeah, exciting that everyone's getting back together for the Space Camp reunion event. I saw Rosanna Zen is already on the ground, so hopefully you can chat with her. Yeah, I don't know who else is going, but well, I think, yeah, Chris is there as well, Chris Sembroski. But yeah, it's cool that you'll be capturing more content there. Did a great job on the earlier videos, so looking forward to what comes next.
Perfect.
Awesome. All right, thanks, Austin. Have a good time at Space Camp. Sweet. We will invite Anna up on stage with some updates on the video deployable payload. How's it going, Anna?
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. And I'll share my screen. So biggest updates since last time is we've put together the prototype of the video payload with all of the components together. So here it is showing moving in 90-degree increments with I think 30 seconds of, I guess, stabilization in between. So the swaying is mostly just from the string, and then you'll see it turn shortly. There you go. So that's executing 20-degree turns back and forth, and then we were testing a full 90-degree turn and other ones. A lot of the prototyping came in through varying the mass of the brass reaction wheel that we created custom. So we basically attached machined brass to a regular drone type motor, a brushless DC motor, and then worked on the software to be able to spin up the reaction wheel, and the acceleration of the reaction wheel changing, creates that turn. And then we also made progress on parachutes. We threw a couple new designs down, so that one was one of the most successful. And measured how much it's decelerated, which was pretty close to what we expected. So it decelerates down to around 25 feet per second, from where it would be around 60. That's pretty much it. And then next steps will be to finish up kind of a more aesthetic case, put everything together, and then work on finalizing the camera capture.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing all the, regular progress updates and videos and photos and all that in the project channel. Love to see all the activity. And if people haven't checked it out, do check out. Each project here has a project channel where they can share kind of these more like day-to-day updates and all that. And yeah, Anna's been really active, which is cool to see. So
awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Anna. All right. Last but not least, we have Chris Sembroski. Hey, Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Good to be here. Thanks for having me on here, Pablo. So yeah. And let's see, is there a way for me to, oh gosh, wrong button. Is there a way for me to share my screen?
Yep, there should be a way for you to share your screen down by the microphone and the video. There's like a screen with a plus sign where you can share screen there if you want.
Unfortunately, maybe it's not on the browser I'm using at the moment. It might be the problem. But I can just give a verbal update as to what we're working on at the moment with on our project at the moment. Is that with Voyaj here in over right now, I'm at Space Camp today, so I'm excited to be here to share a story with the students and the campers this week. And so similarly, we're going to be taking that out west to San Francisco, and we're going to, with Voyaj, have a transformative event and tell a story of space and bringing people together, bridging space and aspiration. And going to be doing that here in the fall of this year. And so some of the issues that we've recognized is that there are systemic barriers for first generation and immigrant students that face major obstacles when they try to enter the STEM and leadership pathways. And there's a representation gap where their stories are rarely reflected in the narratives of exploration and innovation. And that belonging in space, we notice that the space sector remains kind of disconnected from communities that could potentially help shape its future. And so that's the whole impetus by going to San Francisco and getting involved with this partnership between Voyaj and College Track. So our solution is to create a dialogue between an astronaut and students, in this case myself. We're going to connect those spaceflight stories with student journeys of overcoming obstacles. And we're looking to inspire a couple hundred students so that they can see themselves as future explorers, engineers, and leaders, and while positioning MoonDAO as this champion of inclusive innovation. So this hopefully will be an unforgettable experience where we're bringing together people that would not necessarily have access to these types of leaders, or they'll get a chance to ask an astronaut questions and hear my story and see pictures from space and training and what it means to have that access to someone like that. And we'll get to hear student voices on interactive panels, engaging them in felicitated conversations so they can share stories, ask questions about space careers and future possibilities. And then additionally, we're going to be inviting many of you here, any ambassadors from MoonDAO that would love to join us. We're looking to get as upwards of 20 MoonDAO ambassadors to come join us and to have local participants kind of bridging space exploration with human aspiration. So we see the impact for this being pretty impactful for MoonDAO because it's aligned with our mission. We're looking to have some powerful storytelling. We're going to be capturing all of this with radiographers that we have on hold, and we're negotiating deals with them to get a little bit better of a pricing point at this point. But they're on board. We've got the room reserved and things like that. We're going to create an environment of having future innovators and develop community leadership through this experience. So again, with College Track, this specific organization that we're partnering with Voyaj, they believe that a bachelor's degree remains one of the strongest drivers of opportunity. It opens doors to economic mobility, civic participation, lifelong wellness, and kind of that self-agency. So in partnering with students from under-resourced communities, they help enable them to be the first in their families to graduate from college, to ensure a promise of that promise of higher education extending to future generations. So their work equips scholars to succeed in college and pursue meaningful careers. In this case, we're doing it through the inspiration of space, the MoonDAO community, and an astronaut conversation. Down to brass tacks, our immediate next steps is that we have the date and the time and the venue confirmed for November 14th of this year. We had to wait to get all the students back into school. I know we originally were working on this project in the spring, and due to some unforeseen logistics and timing and delays on some things and some events that were beyond our control, we didn't get it accomplished in the spring, and then they were out of school for the summer, so we had to wait for them to come back. So thank you guys for being flexible in your timing with supporting this mission. We are getting it nailed down on November 14th. We're going to be designing the invitation, the programming, and the workshops in the next immediate steps, and as well as providing that what that looks like for MoonDAO ambassadors to be able to apply to be part of this process. So that's where we are with that, and I'm so glad to be able to share that update with you. So thank you, Ryan and Pablo.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, really exciting. Have an enjoyable time at Space Camp, and yeah, excited for this project, and hopefully, yeah, we can get some more MoonDAO citizens and community members involved on the ground there in San Francisco. Yeah, really excited.
That'd be fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing you all there here in November, and it comes up faster than you think. It's July, but it'll be here before you know it. So
time is flying. So awesome. Thank you, Chris. So yeah, if anybody is interested, get in touch with Chris or Yasmine from the project team and take it from there. So
awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cool. Well, that is all of the project updates. That was quite a lot of stuff. I mean, I guess we have 12 updates, well, final reports and updates, which is pretty awesome. I think this is, the first time we'd have everybody here at once on one town hall in quite some time. So just really, really cool work. We've got an amazing variety of stuff that's going on too. Just the sheer diversity of projects and like focuses and even geographic distributions is pretty amazing. And I really love seeing it all today kind of captured in one 2-hour town hall essentially. So
yeah, it's hard to keep up sometimes with all the stuff that's going on. We had this big Frank launch, but yeah, there's always a big kind of undercurrent of all these different projects and initiatives and people that are driving the mission forward in different sort of ways. So it's awesome to hear updates from everyone.
This is probably our busiest quarter in quite some time. I think just in terms of the sheer number of like active projects and active campaigns and initiatives that we've got going on right now. So yeah, but yeah, next steps, like I said, we'll have the vote coming up in a week or so for retroactive rewards for the 7 projects that had their final reports. Obviously, the other 5 projects that gave their updates will continue on doing their good work. And we have the deadline closing at the end of the day today for Q3 project submissions and our Q3 cohort. So, if you're working on an interesting space project and you want to present that to the MoonDAO community and potentially get funded for your work, upfront funding to execute on your project, now is the time. Don't wait, because the deadline is today to submit your project proposal to the community. And yeah,
10 hours. People have 10 hours to submit their proposal. So
get on it. I know there's a couple that are in the works, so don't let the deadline go by. But yeah, you have to get it in by the end of the day. Then there'll be a Senate review and there'll be feedback. So there is time to refine the proposal based on feedback from the senators, essentially.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, it's really intended to be kind of a starting point to draft your proposal, and then you'll work with us and the community to help refine it. So even if it's just something that you have an idea about, but it's not fully formed yet, we still recommend that you submit it and get feedback and continue to refine and iterate it over the next week before it goes up to the community.
Yep. Those who go through that process will then do the pitch day next Thursday. So same time, same place. We'll have our Q3 pitch day, where all the advancing proposals will go up for the community, and then the community, everyone watching here and our citizens and our voters will actually vote on which projects they want to see funded. So again, it's you all decide what happens. It's not Pablo, not myself. It's everyone here who says, this is a cool project, this is worth doing, this is worth pursuing. So we love to see, the direction the community shapes, and it's a competitive process. Last quarter, we had, I believe, 10 projects that went through to community votes, and 4 or 5 of them were actually approved based on our threshold and cutoffs. So yeah, it's just a way for the cream to rise to the top, and we've seen some really, really cool stuff happening as you saw today.
Yeah, my favorite thing is just hearing kind of all of the wins that people have after they submit a project and complete it. And it's a great way to get visibility within the space community as well, and to connect with other people that are doing interesting stuff. So yeah, it's awesome to just be able to help give a little kickoff to some of these projects and then watch them thrive afterwards. So that's always the most fulfilling part for me.
Yeah, there's some amazing examples of that today from our projects that are wrapping up here. But that's part of the idea of the whole network, the teams, the organizations, the projects is being able to tap into this network effect and get help, whether you're doing a project in Brazil or Colombia or the UK or Germany, wherever you might be. But yeah, I mean, we've seen some of these kind of synergistic type moments, I guess, with existing projects in the network, and yeah, what they can do afterwards is up to them, I guess. But I want to keep building with them for sure.
Yeah, I just want to reinforce this idea that what we're building is kind of an operating system for collaboration within the space economy, and yeah, it's been super fulfilling seeing a lot of these different projects come to life and people, networking with one another. Now we've got a bunch of really cool connective tissue, like Laika bot that can match you to other people in the community. You can view other people's profiles, all the citizens, and we're starting to see some density around the different parts of the world. So, as that kind of grows, I think we'll start to see a lot of really cool emergent behavior from people just kind of like logging onto the MoonDAO platform, finding other individuals that are working on similar stuff, and finding their way in the space economy. So it's cool.
Yeah, really cool. Love to see still love browsing the map and watching the little nodes and lines grow for the density there. US is still the top spot, but we have some places within the US that are kind of, dense than others, of course, in terms of the space acceleration network. And I think Brazil is our second country with the most activity, if I'm not mistaken, with about 10 or so citizens. So yeah,
I'm super excited to go to Brazil. That's gonna be really fun. It's my first time out there too, so
yeah,
it'll be fun.
It's amazing place. Had a good time there last year with one of our other projects, the Art Rocket project, and traveling across the country, and super cool. So yeah, Paloma's doing great work there too, and the Innovation Summit is going to be cool, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we can wrap this one up. Almost 2 hours. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Send Frank to space. Frank is back. Get your, help spread the word. Make some noise and make a splash here today, everybody. Oh, Frank is literally back.
Oh, yeah, Frank's there. Hey, Frank.
Hello.
Here's the launch.
He's back.
Yeah. I've been listening to all the great reports. It's been fantastic. And you said that some people have already contributed to the Get Frank to Space, Send Frank to Space. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Shout out to Phil, who is, I think, now on the leaderboard as well. So Phil is a competitor for the second seat. And Phil actually won a zero gravity flight last time, so we'll see if Phil continues to be lucky.
Yeah. Well, here's your mascot.
Hey,
Moondog.
We'll have to get Moondog in some of these social posts.
Yeah, we should.
My favorite. So
cool. All right, everybody. Well, appreciate everyone tuning in for a somewhat longer town hall, but yeah, help get the word out about Frank today. Let's continue making noise, get some more support, get yourselves on the leaderboard or move up the leaderboard. Appreciate, everyone and all the work being done. Moondog.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Yeah.
Our world is not in good shape. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that we, as the crew of Spaceship Earth, we're kind of doing a terrible job of being the crew.
All the astronauts say when they get up top, they're like, wait, what are we doing?
Yeah. But explain to me what the overview effect is.
You know, it is absolutely gorgeous. Overview effect is when you're looking through that cupola, it's like the bay window looking down on the Earth, and you see just that, the Earth as it exists with the whole universe in the background. You see the thin blue line of the atmosphere, and then when you're on the dark side of the Earth, you actually see this very thin green line that shows you where the atmosphere is. And what you realize is every single person you know is sustained and inside of that green line, and everything else outside of it is completely inhospitable. You don't see borders, you don't see religious lines, you don't see political boundaries. All you see is Earth, and you see that we're way more alike than we are different.
Booster ignition and liftoff.
The Artemis mission illustrated the difference between surface thinking and overview thinking. Seen from the surface of the Earth, we perceive difference, division, conflict. But from above the surface, we perceive unity, oneness, interconnection, and cooperation. This is an inflection point where humanity has a choice between the two. And our decision will influence life on Earth and off-world for millennia.
When I think about Frank floating and experiencing Earth out the window of a spaceship, I am totally humbled by that.
Frank White is somebody who's devoted the last 30 plus years to not only explaining what the overview effect is, but more importantly, what the implications of that shift in perspective is for our planet.
We don't often think about the ripple effect of stuff that we do. So those of you thinking of supporting Frank, it's not just about him going to space, it's the ripple effect from that experience when he comes back, and that's why we should send Frank to space.
We're inviting people to go beyond making a contribution and join the mission. It won't just be a flight, but also support for bringing the overview effect down to Earth. So join us in sending Frank to space.
Send Frank to space! And bring him back.
It's time for us to fly Frank to space.
Let's get Frank to space.
Let's send Frank to space.
We are here to say, send Frank to space.
Send Frank to space! Send Frank to space!
Send Frank to space. Get Frank to space. Send Frank to space.
To engage in supporting the project of sending my friend Frank White into space.
Let's get this guy to space. Forget about me. Let's get Frank White to space. Tell them one more time.
Let's send Frank to space.